Public enemy number one. The one guy or team NBA fans and even some people in the media see as the number one target for backlash, criticism, and well...
But I will say, his words were incredibly idiotic.
The NBA's version of the most wanted. And in the long list of villains throughout NBA history, I think it's more than safe to say we found the next guy in line. His name is Dillion Brooks, a villain.
But you can't go around punching people, man. Come on, man. That was a cheap shot.
A hard-nosed defender with a super ego.
We all had the vision, which is perfect. In the beginning, we're growing a base. We're able to, create something like this and keep building this dynasty.
And an expert hitter below the belt. Wait, why did I say it like that? Okay, if you want to cheap shot guys on the court who are actually playing, I mean, at least they're actually playing. But at least show some heart to the innocent bystanders, bro.
Oh, saved him, and Brooks could not keep it in.
Did he really deserve that? Yeah, I didn't think so either. You know, something just isn't making any sense here. I think of guys like, more recently, Draymond Green. Maybe go back in the day a little, and you think of a Dennis Rodman or Ron Artest. All guys that won something, made some all-star teams, and had established cachet in the league. But then I look at Brooks, who's A, still just 6 years into his career, and B, hasn't won anything. No chips, MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year awards, literally nothing to show for. And yet, this is the same guy who, for reasons I can't explain, called his Memphis Grizzlies team a dynasty. Bro, what? This is why Brooks' antics have led other star players in the league to offer some pretty harsh criticism of Brooks, saying, when he retires, I don't think anyone will talk about Dillion Brooks ever again. I promise you. It's sweet now, but wait 10 years. And speaking of Klay, Brooks all of a sudden has become Klay's biggest enemy, out of all people. Klay's that one guy that doesn't jump the gun, or come out and say much all that often. But Brooks apparently pushes his buttons to the absolute max. I mean, when's the last time you saw Klay taunt a guy on the floor like this? Oh man, I love this. And why go any further without talking about probably the biggest elephant in the room, and really what's helped give Dillion Brooks his reputation as this bad guy. He's got some serious beef with the Golden State Warriors, like their entire team. Brooks has had some instances, some scuffles, some shouting matches, some of something with probably every guy on that roster. We know his comments about the dynasty and how Klay Thompson responded.
Man, they was talking about dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before.
But this goes all the way back to first when the Warriors and Grizzlies met in the 2021 play-in tournament game, in which the Grizzlies took out the Warriors and ended their chances at entering the playoffs. Oh, but then just a year later, the Warriors got their opportunity to right the wrong from the previous year. And that's exactly what they did. But in the process of doing all of the above, Dillion Brooks came out of nowhere with this one, and thus his official stamp of approval on the NBA's villain card.
Golden State still looking to crack the seal. Payton right down the middle, he's fouled hard.
This was the moment right here that really showed the bad blood between Brooks and the Warriors. And now fast forward a year later to the most recent incident between Brooks and the Warriors. Brooks has never really held back, but this time he put it all on the line with the comments he made about Draymond and the Warriors. I don't like Draymond at all, just don't like Golden State. I don't like anything to do with them. Draymond talks a lot, gets away with a lot too. His game is cool with Golden State, but if you put him anywhere else, you're not going to know who Draymond is. He plays with heart, plays hard, and knows the ins and outs of their defense. I guess that's why they like him over there. That was quite the message. Oh, but Draymond really prepared the most savage responses to Brooks' recent sentiments on him and his Warriors.
This idiot said, I don't like Draymond at all. You don't know me. I just don't like Golden State. I quite frankly wouldn't like a team that beats me all the time either. I don't like anything to do with them. Quite frankly, you were a little kid in high school watching us win championships. You get the point. You're a fan.
I want to be like Draymond Green.
Nah, I definitely got to give Draymond the dub on this trash talk battle, because what he said was a tier 1 clapback.
Yeah!
And let me not leave out his antics with the head of the Warriors snake, Steph Curry. You know, I get it. The Warriors are your rivals, and you want to stick it to them every time you play them. And hey, none of us will ever mind some good old trash talk. So whatever's going on between Brooks and Draymond and Brooks and Klay Thompson, I mean, it just makes for some great theater. But what we will certainly mind as fans watching is cheap shots. We know the shot he took at Gary Payton, And then more recently, when he clearly balled his fist and intended to hit Donovan Mitchell squarely in the man region.
That was just a dirty play. You can't go around punching people, man. Come on, man. That was a cheap shot, period.
But Donovan Mitchell was actually being all the way 100 when he said that his beef with Dillion Brooks goes back some years.
Him and I have had our personal battles for years. Quite frankly, I've been busting his ass for years.
And again, Mitchell's right. He's had beef with Brooks since seemingly his early days in the NBA and has been busting him for a long time now. Well, if I were to take a wild guess, I imagine Mitchell is talking about times like this.
Dressed announcer than Sam Mitchell. Sam Mitchell's always smooth. Oh my God, smooth. Donovan Mitchell, and he's talking to Dillion Brooks about it. He's letting him know. He's saying, get the you-know-what out of here.
Kind of like when Mitchell averaged nearly 29 points per game on 45% shooting from three, and during the 5 games he squared off against Brooks in the 2021 playoffs. And yeah, that includes 30 points in nearly 3 straight games to close out Memphis and kick him out the playoffs. Oh, and let's not leave out the beef moments either. Hey, if I were Brooks, I'd be mad at Mitchell too, for doing all that work at my expense for all these years, you know? But let's not limit all these instances to just on-the-court altercations, brawls, and scuffles. You get the point. And by the way, in case you were wondering, Dillon Brooks is now up over $500,000 in just fines in his NBA career that started a little less than 6 years ago. Hey, if you're giving away money just because, why not give me some? Look, Dillon Brooks had a pretty famous moment with a guy we call a Hall of Famer, but a guy Dillon Brooks labeled as just some pedestrian.
You think it's appropriate for a fan to kind of go back and forth with you guys like that?
A regular pedestrian like him? No.
Huh? Wait, hold on, bro. This man right here just called a 3-time Super Bowl champion and one of the best players in NFL history just some guy when you, yourself, haven't even sniffed a conference finals? Am I missing something here? Add that to the list of unbearably garbage takes. This one was just down bad, man. Like, I got nothing, seriously. And to think he's still a relatively young player in the league. And like Draymond said, some high school kid when the Warriors were winning championships. Heck, I'm more interested in knowing what that number will jump to in fines when Brooks' career is all said and done. And oh, these beefs happening out here on the court, the nut shots, the pushing and shoving, the trash talk, all the antics, it's only going to be crazier from here on out. Besides, he's already embraced being the villain in the NBA, so you already know some wild stuff is already brewing, and things are on the horizon.